Hey, y'all already know this is Deem, your host. You already know what it is, my guys. Yes, we are back. Deem, by any means, please like and sub if you have not done that already. Y'all already know how big of a Tank Davis fan I am, Jerron Boots Ennis, and Shakur Stevenson. But one thing I will never do is get up here and lie for these young men on anything that they have going on, y'all. I just can't do it. It's unfair to the people that watch me, and it's unfair to the sport. Because at the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson didn't perform the best. And we got to stop giving excuses for this man for his performance, talking about his hand, talking about, well, it was a good pulled out win and the whole nine. I predicted this fight to go exactly how it went. I said the first 7 to 8 rounds would be close. After that, Shakur would take over. But at the end of the day, the man did not perform up to his standards. He even said that he didn't perform up to his standards. And y'all got to stop taking everything so personal, thinking that people are just crapping on Shakur. No, he was running his mouth, him and De Los Santos. But I ain't talking about De Los Santos because De Los Santos ain't a big enough name, has not earned anything enough for me to talk about him on what he hasn't done. But Shakur Stevenson is. He did not go out there and engage. He chose to make this a boring fight when he did not have to. That was a decision that he made. He wanted to play it cautious. And we're supposed to sit up here and act like he didn't do that and just talk about how good he was defensively. I'm not going to do that. I can talk about how he is a defensive master. He is. But I also got to talk about the flaws and the other things that I seen when it comes to his contemporaries at the weight division. Shakur Stevenson did not engage. Shakur Stevenson didn't even use his biggest and most powerful punch, the most effective punch that he has, and that is the straight jab to the body. He didn't utilize that at all. It's one thing from fighting on your back foot, it's another thing from literally jumping away from your opponent. And I'm supposed to sit up here and act like this was the best performance. I'm supposed to sit up here. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm supposed to sit up here and act like this was the best performance in sliced bread. It wasn't. He said he was going to come out and put on the show. He didn't do that. So are we wrong for holding to that standard? Are we wrong for saying that we saw something? And then now y'all want to give him an excuse about his hand being messed up? Well, it's another fighter that I knew that fought somebody who had a broken hand the whole time. And that was still one of the most exciting fights of the year. So because there's something wrong with you, don't mean that you if I don't give Pacquiao that excuse, if I didn't give Gervonta Davis that excuse, I am not going to give Shakur Stevenson that excuse. He said that he was going to go out here and beat the you know what out of that boy, and he didn't do that. He won. He didn't beat the you know what out of him. Because all y'all going to say is that Shakur ain't have a scratch on his face. You know who else didn't? Edwin De Los Santos. De Los Santos didn't have a scratch on his face neither. So that is both sides. Y'all want us to just jump on Devin Haney and Bill Haney when they be capping and all that, and I'm gonna do that. But Devin Haney is more active than Shakur. Devin Haney fight with Loma was a much better performance than what I just saw. I'm supposed to lie about that too. I'm supposed to sit up there and say that I believe now he could beat Gervonta Davis when I didn't believe he could beat Gervonta Davis then, before. But that's what y'all want me to believe? No. Y'all want me to make an excuse for why he didn't put on a dominant performance? This is not just this performance. He has been doing this. We have just been giving him the benefit of the doubt because how skilled and how talented he is and how much of a defensive master that he is. But it don't change the fact that that fight was a snooze fest. That was the most boring fight of the year. It doesn't change that fact, y'all. It does not change that fact. When you're trying to set up big fights and people are paying to see you, and then they get mad when the fight gets hard that you can't get out of Bob Arum's umbrella. It's because you don't sell, and they're using that against you. And it's not just that Gervonta Davis and Bill Haney and all of them going to use that against you. It's the fact that it's an actual fact. That is something that should be used against you, sir. You got Steven Jackson and superstars coming out here talking about they wouldn't pay for your next pay-per-view. That is also a fact. You and Devin Haney both was booed y'all last fights. That is also a fact. So when people boo in fights, it's because they don't think that it was that exciting. They didn't like the product that they saw. You cannot force people to like the product, my guys. But what you could have did is made it more exciting to the point where they did like the product. You could have done that. But you didn't. But you didn't decide to do that. So when y'all sit up here and say that y'all want to make these big fights, people got to want to pay for these big fights. And you're 50% of the reason they will want to pay for the fight, sir. I didn't tell celebrities and people to come out here and say that they was bored, and every YouTube channel, even people that is fans of you, other YouTube channels come out here and say that you didn't perform well. Stop making excuses for this man. He had a terrible performance. He won the fight, 3-time division champ. Give him all the credit in the world. And I still think he's special because I still don't think nobody else in that division beats him besides Gervonta Davis. But I don't have to say that I enjoy watching him fight. I don't have to say that. I don't have to act like the fact that he is not exciting is not going to play a factor in him getting these fights done. I can't sit up here and act like the Shakur Stevenson we all looked at him like 48 hours ago is the Shakur Stevenson we're looking at him as today. I cannot sit up there and make excuses for that man. And he's my third favorite fighter, so you can never say I'm a hater. What you can say is I'm probably just way more objective than you are. You are actually a true fan. I'm a true fan too, but I'm not going to lie for him. The same way I'm not going to lie for Gervonta Davis when he was sitting up there complaining about the judge as if that's about to help him do anything, as if that's an excuse not to make fights happen, like you can't train in Maryland, like you can't find a way to get your body and shit. No, that is not an excuse, sir. And I refuse to give these men excuse, these grown men that was just in. He didn't even say nobody's name. He ran in that ring with Devin Haney and talked about Devin Haney walking out the ring. But when that man was asked, when Shakur Stevenson was asked, who did he want next? He didn't mention nobody. Said he got to figure it out and he need to take a break. I didn't tell him to say that. He could have said, man, y'all know who I want. I feel as though I want that Gervonta Davis fight. That's the biggest fight in the sport. I truly believe me and him are the best at the weight class, and I would love to get that next so we can get it done. He could have easily said that. I understand I ain't had the best performance and I got to step my game up. He could have easily said that, but he ain't say that. Because deep down in his heart, he know he not ready for that smoke. He know that he don't want that problem right now. And I'm supposed to go up here and lie for him and say, yeah, I think he could still definitely beat Gervonta Davis. No, I don't think that. I used to think it was a 50-50 fight. That is a 70-30 fight, sir. Because I don't think nobody can beat Gervonta Davis that's not willing to engage with him. If you got a difference of an opinion, that is your opinion. But my opinion is, there's no way you was cautious against De Los Santos and Valdez and these type of guys, but you're not going to be cautious against the best fighter in boxing, the most explosive fighter in boxing, one of the most powerful punches that we have seen in boxing history. No, I don't. I'm sorry. You didn't want to deal with De Los Santos. You want me to think that you're going to be cool dealing with Gervonta Davis? I don't think that. Sorry. It is what it is. Not going to make excuses for this man. And I see your YouTube channels trying to give every excuse, trying to get everybody to break out the violins. Oh, they attacking Shakur. Oh, they trying to act like he this and he that. And just a couple days ago, he was the best thing and most fair. He was just a couple days ago. When you get new information, you are allowed to update it, people. But people also said that this will be his biggest test. People also said they wanted to see how he would be in this fight against a power puncher. People also said that. And he didn't live up to it. I didn't tell them people to boo him. They chose to do that. That is not my fault. So at the end of the day, man, let's stop making excuses for these bot fighters when they open their mouth, when they run their mouth about what they is and what they ain't going to do, when they sitting up there talking and telling everybody else that people are scared of them and running from them and this, that, and the third. That is their issue. I don't have nothing to do with that. No different than Errol Spence with Terrence Crawford. You was running your mouth. You say that you're going to do this and do that to Bud. You know what I'm saying? And you smoking on Bud and all that. And that didn't happen. You got your behind whipped. It is what it is. I'm not gonna make excuses for you about you being weight drained and it might have been something wrong with you, or he might have been high. I don't care about none of that. You got in that ring and your job is to perform, and you didn't do that. You won, but you didn't perform. And I'm not going to make an excuse for you. If you want them big fights to happen, you better start throwing your hands a little more, young man. You better add some more things to your game. Because right now, I know you cannot beat Gervonta Davis. That man will stop you. That man will stop you, or he will win unanimously because you've been on your bicycle the whole fight. So y'all already know what it is, man. It's Dean. By any means, please like, share, and subscribe. I keep telling y'all I'm coming with the heat. I'm not playing with them. And I ain't playing with these fighters neither. I got integrity, man. If you're gonna talk big before the fight, talk just as big afterwards. I'm from Philly, man. I'm from Chester, man. That's what I come from. You can't run your mouth before the fight and then somebody put their hands on you and beat you all up. And then now you got a bunch of excuses about why that happened. Or you said you was going to do this and do that to the bull, and then you and him start fighting and you looking timid out there. Nah, man. Because if that's the case, then just be quiet and say it's going to be a good fight and you're going to give it your best. Dean, by any means, man, like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate everybody that be showing support in the comments, that's showing love. It means a whole lot. I enjoy the journey, yo. I'm telling you, I'm enjoying this journey because just last week I had 24 subscribers. Now I'm at about 115. So I feel like I'm accomplishing something every day, man. It's the small steps that's important. I holla at y'all.